Welcome back, everyone, to Economics for Everyone. Today we're going to be looking at elasticity.
Elasticity and pricing. Most businesses face a day-to-day struggle to figure out ways to produce at a lower cost, as one pathway to their goal of earning higher profits. In some cases, the price of a key input over which the firm has no control may rise or fall. Can businesses pass costs or cost savings on to customers? Let's find out.
These slides are based on the Principles of Economics 2nd edition by OpenStax.
Passing along cost savings to customers, technological improvements. Cost saving gains cause supply to shift out to the right from S0 to S1. That is, at any given price, firms are willing to supply a greater quantity. If demand is inelastic, such as in Figure A, the result of the cost-saving technology improvement will be substantially lower prices. If demand is elastic, such as in Figure B, the results will be only slightly lower prices. Consumer benefits in either case from a greater quantity at a lower price, but the benefit is greater when demand is inelastic, such as in Figure A. Passing along higher costs to consumers, rising taxes. Higher costs, like a higher tax on cigarette companies, for example, leads supply to shift to the left. This shift is identical in both figures A and B. However, in figure A, where demand is inelastic, the cost increase can largely be passed along to consumers in the form of higher prices, without such a decline in the equilibrium quantity. In figure B, demand is elastic, so the shift in supply results primarily in a lower equilibrium quantity. Consumers suffer in either case, but in figure A, they suffer by paying a higher price for the same quantity, while in figure B, they suffer from buying a lower quantity and presumably needing to shift their consumption elsewhere. Elasticity and tax incidence. Tax incidence is a manner in which the tax burden is divided between buyers and sellers. If demand is more inelastic than supply, consumers bear most of the tax burden. If supply is more inelastic than demand, sellers bear most of the tax burden. An excise tax introduces a wedge between price paid by consumers, PC, and the price received by producers, PP. The more elastic the demand and supply curves are, the lower the tax revenue. From figure A, when the demand is more elastic than the supply, the tax incidence on consumers, PC minus PE, is lower than the tax incidence on producers, PE minus PP. Figure B. When the supply is more elastic than demand, the tax incidence on consumers, PC minus PE, is larger than the tax incidence on producers, PE minus PP. Long run versus short run impact. Elasticities are often lower in the short run than they are in the long run. On the demand side of the market, it can sometimes be difficult to change quantity demanded in the short run, but easier in the long run. On the supply side of markets, producers of goods and services typically find it easier to expand production in the long term of several years rather than the short run of a few months. In most markets for goods and services, in the short run, prices bounce up and down more than quantities. In the long run, quantities often move more than prices. The responsiveness of demand to price changes in crude oil. The intersection, E0, between the demand curve D and the supply curve S0 is the same for both figures. The shift of the supply to the left side from S0 to S1 is identical in both figures A and B. The new equilibrium, E1, has a higher price and a lower quantity than the original equilibrium, E0, in both figures A and B. However, the shape of the demand curve D is different in both figures A and B. As a result, the shift in supply can result either in a new equilibrium with a much higher price and an only slightly smaller quantity, as in Figure A, or in a new equilibrium with only a small increase in price and a relatively larger reduction in quantity, such as in Figure B.
So this is the end of this particular video. If you guys like this, please comment, subscribe, and hit that like button, and I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.